A very good morning to you. Welcome to Relationships Wednesday on Life and Style. I'm Makali, and we are ready to give you an amazing show. I keep saying that every single day, but I mean it. I mean it because every single day it's totally different. So it's Relationships Wednesday, but the content is totally off the roof. How are you, Pastor Chris?
Very well. How are you?
I am great. I am great. I see you tried to break the color coding today.
Yes, because I can't take it anymore.
Oh, I didn't get the memo. Well, we have Monday to start us off, and we're going to be talking about mentorship in relationships. Is it important? Does it make your life easier if you're in a relationship? And does it even make sense to be mentored when you're in a relationship with someone?
We will be talking about mentorship in dating, whether, as Mikali says, whether it is important, whether it works, the significance of that, the couples that have been mentored, whether they have come out better than the rest. Because in our day, there's a lot of mentorship that is going on. But there's one thing that really gets us off, and that is relationships. It seems like we really never get it right. I'm joined this morning by Joy. Joy is currently not dating. And I'm joined by Alan and Sandra. Alan he's dating, but then Sandra is a mentor. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Would you call yourself a relationship coach? Or what would you
Probably
say?
I would say marriage coach.
A marriage coach.
Yes.
Okay. But when you do that, you also you include it right from the point of dating.
Yes.
Okay.
We do. Yes, we do.
Let me start with you, Joy. Why are you not dating such a beautiful girl like you?
I'm still young. There's no rush to it. So taking my time, building myself,
Okay.
and get to that.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you dated before?
Yes, I have.
Did that work for you?
I can't say it didn't work. I can't say it worked.
Okay.
Because I'm not in it. So definitely then something went wrong somewhere. Yeah? But I can't say I didn't learn from it. So it did work in a way because I grew as a person.
Okay.
So yeah.
You consider yourself to be young. Is that early 20s, early 30s, early 40s?
Early 20s.
Early 20s?
Yes.
So what point do you think then somebody is mature enough to consider dating if you consider early 20s to be young?
I don't think it's an age factor. I think it's more of just growing as an individual. The people who are in the early 20s and they're married and it's working. And the people who are in the early 20s and they're dating and it's disaster. So
Alright.
I think it's just growing as a person and knowing that now you're ready to handle yourself and another person in the same picture.
What would be the parameters that you'd be looking at, your growth parameters?
I think for me, the most important thing for me personally is spiritually. I need to have grown spiritually as a person. I need to have grown and known which direction I'm headed, whether it's in my career life or my calling in life. If those two are out of place and I'm busy getting into a relationship, I don't think that's going to work out because I'll still be looking for myself while I'm trying to also now work things out with someone else.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Alan, you're dating.
Yes, I am.
All right. How is that going for you?
Right now it's really good.
It's really good. Right now it's really good.
Yeah. We
Before
don't know
right
about.
now?
We don't know. No, it has been good till now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you see any need for having a mentor in dating? Do you see is there a need for people in dating to have mentors?
For me personally, I don't think there's a need.
Okay.
Why is because I think you should learn the person by yourself. Because then you see, if you have a mentor, that means that's where you go. That's where you run when you have some problems or when you misunderstand something. Then you run there. So then basically you become influenced by your mentor in a way to understand stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, I think I want to learn whoever I'm with by myself. So then that means I have to be Alan to be able to understand them.
All right.
Yeah.
But do you think that it could just be based on interpretation of what mentorship is and how far they come?
Yes, that's exactly why I think. To some extent, it's a yes or no.
Okay.
It's a yes for someone who understands it,
Right.
and someone who's going to take it as this just a way of them helping us understand ourselves.
Okay.
It's a no for the person who's going to think this is a person who's going to teach me how to handle a relationship and be in one.
You don't think relationships can be taught?
Not necessarily, because individuals are different.
Yeah.
We are all different, and that means for us to stay together, you can't tell someone how Alan is. They have to find out for themselves.
Okay. Are there not any things that you see that cut across, like generally a man would be thinking this way, a woman would be thinking this way, and if somebody came in to help you figure that out,
Yeah.
it would be helpful, even though on an individual level you still have got to know this person?
I think to some extent, men are all the same, women are all the same, but I think the most important part is the individual part.
Right.
And once we've understood each other on the individual part, then we can go to a mentor.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a mentor is good when you've already started the relationship.
And when you
When you're just starting, I don't think so.
you don't need one. I'm coming to you, Sandra. Let me still come back to Joy. Do you think that there is a need for a mentor in dating?
In the generation we are in, people live in a fairy tale kind of world, and it would be good to have someone who has been where you've been to some extent. Relationships are different, yes, but someone who's already gone through the process of dating and is probably already married already knows what you should be expecting. But when you're just starting off on your own, you have your head is literally in the clouds. You're just having your own ideas of what dating should be about. So it's important to have someone who will walk with you, not necessarily spoon feed you.
Right.
And someone who you'll necessarily keep running to every single time you have issues. At some point, you have to deal with things as a couple, but you need someone who can also walk with you.
At what
Yeah.
point do you decide that you need a mentor?
I think while you're dating, when you're dating.
Yes, at the dating point, do you bring in a mentor immediately? In your view, do you bring in a mentor immediately or as you walk along?
I think as you walk along, because
you-
immediately first of all, you need to learn each other first, and learn even if you, sometimes you might find you with someone, you're of the idea of mentorship and the other person is like, I'm not about that life.
Because I was about to ask you that.
Yeah, yeah.
Who decides?
It could be a very tricky situation if you're in such a place, because now that's already, you're at different levels. So I think it's important, first of all, to start knowing the person you're with first, then you guys can decide on mentorship and how to go about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Sandra, your thoughts?
I believe that mentorship is important, especially at a point where you've been dating and you'd like to get married. I believe that's where my husband and I come in, where we decide that now it's important to show them the ropes.
Okay.
And it's just giving them ideas on what to expect
All right.
and the issues. Like we will tackle all issues from.
When you talk about what to expect, is it the same for everybody?
No, we actually generalize it. Like if we talk about the in-laws, we'll help you along, because I feel that as a young couple, when they decide to get married, they do not have the nitty-gritty details of what they're going to deal with, from finances to sex to the in-laws. They're things that you may not necessarily have discussed with your spouse to be, that we help you along with.
Okay. But your emphasis then is more towards marriage.
Yes, absolutely.
What about people who are dating? They're dating like for 2 years. They're young. If Joy was in a relationship right now, if she was dating, she's in her early 20s, she thinks she needs a mentor. They've not even made up their minds to get married. That period before they ever even think of getting married, is there a need for mentorship at that particular point? How do they behave? What do they do?
I believe every relationship is different, and if they feel they need mentorship, we will be there for them, because we will actually cater to their needs. We will actually not go out there looking for them. And Joy, I'm thinking you and your boyfriend could need us. No, they come to us, and we help them depending on their need. But in most cases, we will mentor you in a long-term relationship.
All right. But so if people are just starting off, myself, sometimes, because I'm leading quite a number of young people, sometimes they're just beginning to date like this. And you nearly feel these guys are going to jump off the cliff. You know, is it at that particular point, Alan, am I allowed to come in?
Yeah, sure.
So it's a very tricky balance, right?
Yeah.
It's a very tricky balance because most people would feel, and even myself, I mean, when I was dating, most people would feel it's more comfortable for people to mentor them probably towards the end. And people don't mind having mentors when they're in marriage. But then the dating period, do you think it works better for people who have been mentored?
I would say, first, we're all different, but I would say that you're more enlightened.
Okay.
If you've been mentored, you're more enlightened. And as we mentor, like he was saying, he doesn't want to be in a situation where every little detail you call your mentor. And we do not encourage that at all. We actually equip you to be able to deal, unless it gets to a deadlock, then we encourage you to call us, because I don't think you want to do time.
Okay. Alan, I'm just thinking, my own thoughts. Is it easier for ladies to be mentored in relationships than men? Is it something that men feel like, you know, somebody's getting into my space?
I actually think so, because I think us men, we tend to, for us to change, it takes longer, and we are very reluctant to change.
Is it a matter of change, or is it a matter of space, you know, territory?
Adapting.
Territory.
Yeah.
Is it a matter of change or territory?
You see, you have to accept. This is, now you have to change the way you've always looked at things, and accept that now I have to open up to someone else. For guys, I think it's a difficult thing. For women, they're more into, they can easily open up to someone else outside. So for guys, I think for them to get there, it's really going to take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't think that there should be. You know, I always think, my thought, and you need to help me. My thought is that when a man gets into a relationship, the first people he eliminates are the male influences around a lady.
You try. Other times it ends up because we don't want to end up looking like we are insecure.
Which you are.
Which we are.
Sandra believes we are insecure.
Everyone is.
Is it insecurity, or we are just marking our territory?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's both. Insecurity and marking your territory.
Is it healthy insecurity?
Sorry?
Is it healthy? Is it the kind of healthy insecurity, or
No, insecurity is not healthy at all.
it's not? There's no justification for any kind of.
No,
I would actually disagree with that. I think it's healthy to some extent, only when it becomes too much. When now you have to start monitoring the person, that's bad. Yeah. Otherwise, in a relationship, you also need to know, as much as the person is going to show you, I love you and I'm here with you. You also, insecurity is good because it shows you that you have to keep on making them happy.
And them reminding you.
Yeah, because it has to be like that. Then you otherwise, if you are comfortable, I love you, you love me, and I'm comfortable, that means I'll stop doing some things in this relationship. That means you stop trying new things.
Well, okay, Joy, what happens in a date? Because we're talking mentorship in dating. What happens in dating? What happens? Let's just break it down now to a real date. What happens in a date?
A date, the setting, or dating?
Date, the setting.
Okay,
now.
date, the set. I think that depends on individuals, really. But
But
I
what
guess
should happen?
dating should basically be you getting to know each other, getting to learn each other's strengths, weaknesses, insecurities as well. As much as we shouldn't have them, they're there. So we need to learn those nitty-gritty things, getting to know if this person is headed in the same direction you're headed in life. Because you could be going totally different tandems, and that wouldn't work out, definitely.
I'm
So
asking
it's-
that because sometimes when people take out each other on just one date, the perception that is created out of that is a serious relationship. is already there.
And that's the problem I think there is.
Yeah.
Just going to have a meal with someone and having a date doesn't mean that now you're going to end up together. It's
Alright.
getting to know the person, basically.
And
So-
Alan, you know, our kind is accused when we take somebody out for a date like 2 times, then we want favors to be returned.
Yeah, that's true. We don't spend our money easy.
We don't spend our money.
Yeah, it has become. I think it's a society we're in, that anytime you offer to do something nice for someone, you expect something in return.
So how do you know how to treat a lady, man? You know, there's so many men who grew up without fathers, and probably their fathers are not even romantic. All this stuff you're talking about of love, they had no idea.
Yeah.
They just saw a lady by the river,
And they
and
decide.
they came back and told their parents, I like that one.
Yeah.
And somehow everything was worked out for them. Then you're growing up now, and society expects you to know how to love a lady. How do you
Treat
learn
her
that?
You can't really learn, because you can't be taught, because then at the end of the day we're different. You might say something and I say the same thing to Joy, but she's going to take it differently when you say it and when I say it, because of how we say it, how we as in the physical communication that we also put across when we're saying these things. So
Yeah.
then, before you do anything, you need to know the person you're talking to. You need to know the person you're communicating to. How do they take compliments? Because nowadays you
Oh,
you
yeah.
can compliment someone, and when they go home, they start saying,
Number one rule, watch out for your compliments on WhatsApp. Don't say anything that you don't want on a screenshot on WhatsApp. It is getting so crazy nowadays. Sandra, are there rules to dating?
I would say that there are no rules per se, but I believe when you're dating, do it with an open mind and do it honestly, because I find that there are people who date because they already know this is the guy who's going to marry me. And of course, it would be extremely scary for the guy if you went for coffee and you're asking him, so what do you like for dinner? How do you like the home being made? And he's thinking, okay.
That's
what?
too serious.
Yes, that's too serious. So I believe in honesty, because and like Joy and Alan said, it all depends on where you are in your life, because you could be dating somebody who has not been dating, or you could be dating somebody who has dated so many times.
What's the implication if you're dating somebody who has not been dating? What are you probably to encounter?
It's your responsibility to know the kind of person you're dating. Then you know at what point they're at in their lives. Because I find it unfortunate that you find somebody who's ready, where I already know that this is the kind of guy I want, I already know that this is the kind of girl I want, but the other person does not reciprocate. Yeah. But if you are honest and you say it, so from the get-go, you know that, you know what, this one is not a keeper.
Okay, well, you said that there are no rules, so that would really make me be like somebody from the 60s, you know. Because if I'm raising daughters, if I have a sister, if I'm living with someone like Joey, then Alan comes in and says, we're going out. You don't think that we should get to know where are you going and what time are you coming back? Is that outdated?
Not really, because then you see, I think before we get to a point where your family is comfortable with me taking you out, they need to put boundaries, which for me they keep me on check. That means basically I'll appreciate when I have time with you. I'll appreciate when I have any given time I have with you, because your dad has said till 10, then we have to make it count till 10. The problem is, I think, with that and the society
I
now.
wouldn't say 10, man. I'd say the girl gotta be home before 7.
Actually, how about you have the date?
In the house.
Yeah, in the house, at the dining area, that would be great.
Don't you think that is a
sounds
form
like
of
torture.
mentorship?
Yeah?
Don't you think that is a form of mentorship? It's not really direct, but it's a form of mentorship because you're being trained respect.
Yep.
If you know that the dad is watching out for the time you're coming back, there are certain things you can't do.
Yeah.
So you're actually being taught or trained respect, honor, boundaries, in
Yeah.
a sense.
Yeah.
So do you think that that would bring higher chances, Joy, of success in that dating than where people do whatever they want from the very first day? Nobody knows where this guy went. Nobody knows where the girl is. It's 3 days. She comes back home, picks her stuff. She's gone back home.
Yes, I think that would definitely help. Because there's someone keeping you accountable to your actions. So you know that by this time I need to be home. By this time I need to have done certain things or not done certain things. You have someone who's keeping you in check, so you know not to go off course.
Yeah.
So it helps you learn. But it also depends with the individual. If I don't want to learn from it, I'm going to be rebellious and show up at midnight. You know, so it also depends with me as a person. Do I want to actually be mentored? Do I want someone to work with me? Am I seeing it as my folks are nagging me, why do they want me home by 10? Or do I actually understand where they're coming from? If I don't understand any of those basics, then there's still going to be a problem. It'll definitely fail because I'll just do whatever I want, whenever I want. I'll just be the rebel who's there doing her
Right.
own thing. So I think it really depends on the individual. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to add on that, I think it's better that way, because then they're not saying it out loud, and then consequences are different. Because then if I'm interested in a girl, then I have to do everything the father says. Otherwise, I don't want to see here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's different. Rather than Sandra's side is, she just tells you what to do. If I go back home and I don't want to do it, nothing happens to me apart from maybe losing the person I'm with. Yeah. That's why for me the parent side, that can start from the beginning, and you see for them now they teach you till where probably now you decide you want to get married.
Okay. But what of the cases where either one of you doesn't really have parents, or even if you do, they're not keen? Don't you think then that what Sandra and Harry mentioned, that they do that with their husband, don't you think that that would be a very good thing to fill up for the gaps for those people who do not have anybody to speak into their lives?
To start up, yeah. Starting a relationship, it becomes very hard to.
Would you go to somebody and say, I'm interested in this lady? You've not even started the relationship. They say, I'm interested in this lady. I don't even know what to tell her. How do I go about it? Would you do that?
I don't think so.
You wouldn't. But
No,
is there anything wrong with that?
Not that I wouldn't, but I have not reached that point. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't, but I have not been there. I've not been in a situation where I need to ask someone how to go about a certain lady that I like.
But apart from your personal experience, do you think there's anything wrong with that?
Going to ask?
Yeah.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, I think you might be lucky, and Sandra is the same person who has gone through this, exactly what you're going through, and if that's the case, then you're in a perfect situation, because then she'll walk you through her own path.
All right.
Just that you're going to be in yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sandra, just your final thoughts. Young people dating right now, what are they doing right and what are they doing wrong?
Probably what I would say is what they're doing right is just the fact that they're dating. It's important. It's you want to get to know
That's
somebody
right.
because you like somebody.
Yeah.
So that's all right. What they're doing wrong is I feel like young people don't think they need to be mentored.
Like Alan right next to you over there. So after this show, you've got to convince Alan why you need to mentor him.
Yes,
who's dating.
because I believe that everybody can learn something. And marriage is, we actually make you understand that marriage is not like dating. Please, just know that. Marriage is not like dating. There's a lot involved, and it's good. It's good, but there's a lot involved, and there's work. You have to keep working. So I find young people are lazy in working
their relationships?
Yes, on their relationships.
Alan, do you think you're lazy? Do you think, and that's not just you, do you think your generation is lazy?
I wouldn't. It just yes and no, because then the people who are willing to do things by themselves, me being one of them, I want to learn the person by myself, deal with situations the way I know how to, because then at the end of it, if we get out of that, she knows the kind of person I am, and she knows how to deal with me, and I
You
know.
feel you will have grown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then you've dealt with it, you being you.
But I understand where you're coming from. But I think once in a while, you should look for help.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't die trying to prove that you're the hero. Because you will die, you'll be buried, she will weep for a while, and then somebody else will come and comfort her.
And may I
then
say something?
I need to.
What he's saying.
Yeah.
We do not help you learn, know
the
somebody
person.
else. No,
Yeah.
we help you along in your relationship.
It's just the beacons.
Yes,
to
we
help
give you time to know each other.
All
Then
right.
after is when we come in and help you along.
Okay, Mikali is right here.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I have to say, Sandra, that was true-ish. We are lazy to work on a relationship. But then again, I understand, Alan. You might not be very forthcoming sometimes. And also, the young people are not sure, because you're going to have many mentorship classes through the many relationships before you get to him or her. So there's that. It's like having is it called maid of honor, best man, when you're still dating, it feels weird, but I think it's very important to ask and to have someone to go to. So I think you're doing you're filling in a gap that probably we thought does not need anyone, but we clearly do need it.
You know the laziness bit?
Yeah.
We used to walk, man. We used to walk long distances just to be with each other.
Yeah.
And then you escort the lady home, then she escorts
she
you a
escorts
bit.
you back.
Yeah, then you escort it. There were no cell phones, no nothing. It was hard work. I mean, you would earn it.
I think that you need a mentor.
Nice, what's up?
It's hard work.
Yeah, it's what's up, no hard work. Yes. Hakuna stima leo, so we can talk tomorrow, no? Okay. Do you think you need a mentor in your relationship? Do you think this will work for you? Keep that conversation going on our social media platforms, KTN Live and Style on Facebook, KTN Live _Style on Twitter and Instagram, SMS as 22840. My personal handle at my_Mikali on Instagram, on Twitter, on Instagram is Mikali Mary. Just go right ahead and let's have this conversation going. You're taking a very short commercial break. When we come back, it's all about forgiveness. On Listen
I understand they are not my enemies. I understand there is an enemy behind every enemy.